Good morning, guys. How are you? Welcome into the Thursday edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. Yes, I said that right this time. My name is Matt Perrault. How are you? Thank you for tuning into this podcast each and every morning here on BettingPros.com, wherever you get your podcasts on YouTube, and we're always being brought to you by our friends at BetMGM. Great night tonight to use the BetMGM offer, the $20 bet for $100 in free wagers. Juice100's that promo code. You got two NFL football games to get into. I've got 3 plays on those 2 games that I'm going to get into here in just 1 second. I'm coming back with baseball because of what we have done over the last couple of days. It's working, and there are a couple of games and series that I want to jump in on because we've had some success with it. I may add, I don't know, I may get into something else. If I had bet the Red Sox over, if I had bet the exact same thing that I bet on Tuesday into Wednesday, I would have wound up 6-0 with baseball. So we went 3-0 on Tuesday. We went 2-2. Now, at the time of taping, the game's in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Giants are up 6-2. So unless they collapsed, which I really hope they did not, but I'm counting it as a win right now because it's 9:45 on the West Coast, and it's late, and I need to get to bed because I got my daughter, first day of school was today, second day tomorrow, and I'm up early taking her to school and blah, blah, blah. So I got to tape this and get this in the can and get this up for you guys. So 2-2, our basketball experiment did not go well. Raptors lose, let alone not cover the 3 points. They lose the game to Golden State outright. So that's an L. And then we had the Orioles and Matt Harvey, who pitched really well, but, man, Scobles killed me twice. That kid's really good. I mean, the rookie, great strikeout ratio. I mean, he killed me. So, unfortunately, we got that baseball bet wrong. Red Sox scored 20 runs, and it was a 20-8 final. The Red Sox went over by 20 runs, or 21 runs, really. So, the number's 10.5 for the Red Sox and the Rays today. I might get in on it. I don't know yet. I don't know. I feel like there could be some cooling of the bats, but maybe not. Red Sox need to win the game again. I was on that personally yesterday, Red Sox money line at minus 115, which was a pretty easy walk in the park. So technically I had a winning day, but the podcast is basically 2-2 with the Astros and the Giants. That parlay comes back, even money there. So we won a half a unit there. We won 1.3 units on that 2-team parlay back-to-back days. Giants and the Astros. So that worked out really well. Unfortunately, the Giants are playing the Rockies today, but more on that in a second. Astros are off, but more on that in a second. So that was 2-0. And so we have, and the under again hit for a second straight day with the Cardinals and the Pirates. The Pirates cannot score. They're at home. They're so bad offensively. So we got that right again. So it's been a pretty good week for baseball. We have seen these series, and really it's just been sort of like, it's been very predictable, which is very bad for the books, but it's been very predictable. So let's get into baseball again here. I've got 5 plays in totality for you guys here today here for the podcast. So let's get right to it. All right, so we've got the Steelers and the Eagles playing coming up here tonight for one game when it comes to the NFL, and we have the Patriots taking on the Washington football team. Now, the first game, they both get kicked off at 4:30. Eagles in Pittsburgh is not on national TV. Patriots and Washington is on the NFL Network. So I don't know how we find that. I have the NFL ticket, so I think I'm going to be able to watch that Pittsburgh-Philadelphia game. But here is my thought. Okay, 1, Philadelphia is a mess. They're an absolute mess. We don't know how much Jalen Hurts is going to play quarterback here tonight for the Philadelphia Eagles, but they've got Joe Flacco who's backing him up. Okay, maybe Flacco comes in and throws a lot, but Devontae Smith is expected not to play. Jalen Reagor will only play a little bit, if at all. I don't think the Eagles, look, they're going up against a team in Pittsburgh who has a game under their belt, which I think is a really big deal here for this because they've already put on pads before. They've already tackled before. I think they're just going to be a sharper football team, and I do really like what Pittsburgh looked like, their backups, what they looked like. So, from a depth chart perspective, look, you're not going to get Roethlisberger, but Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins and Joshua Dobbs, they've got 3 guys all competing. And I think they all want to get after it. I think you're going to see, a little bit of the backup wide receivers like we saw before against Dallas, and maybe a little bit more of a wrinkle, maybe a little bit more for from a defensive standpoint. Maybe you play the starters a little bit more defensively for Pittsburgh. Nobody really played for Pittsburgh, so maybe you see a little bit of Ben and a little bit of the starters. But I think that game under Pittsburgh's belt is really significant, although I don't think their offense scores very much. They scored 16 points against Dallas. I don't think that we're going to see Philadelphia score a whole heck of a lot. I got it at plus 1.5. The number is down to 1. We bet that yesterday, remember? Plus 1.5. Steelers plus 1.5 and the under 35 are the two bets. Half a unit, full unit going tonight for Steelers and the Eagles tonight. That game kicking off at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. Now, same thing for the Patriots and Washington here, okay? Here's the interesting piece. Bill Belichick's record against the spread all-time in preseason is under 500. He's not been good in the preseason, but that's because he's had Tom Brady. And winning just was part of the culture. Winning. Patriots went 7-9 last year. Patriots have a legitimate quarterback battle going on between Cam Newton and Mac Jones. I think you're going to see Brian Hoyer play as well, but Brian Hoyer knows the offense. The total is 36.5. It was 34.5, and it's already been bet up. And there's big money coming into the Patriots in the over, which is rare for a preseason game. But I think there's a lot of logic to that, okay? I think Cam's going to want to have a scoring drive. I think Mac Jones is going to want to have a scoring drive. I think Brian Hoyer is going to want to have a scoring drive. I think you look for guys in that backfield for the Patriots, Damian Harris, Sony Michel, James White. I think those guys get carries tonight. I think N'Keal Harry is going to get featured quite a bit here in the first half at least, who's had a very good camp supposedly. You're going to see Jacoby Myers, I think, and Kendrick Bourne trying to get on the same side. We know that they're not going to have one of their great tight ends, Hunter Henry, because of a shoulder injury, but Jonnu Smith is supposed to be out there playing at least some. The offensive line, I'm sure we'll get just a little work for the Patriots, maybe not a ton of work, but remember, only 3 preseason games. And here's the thing, the Patriots want to improve. They want to get better, and I think that starts tonight. I think that starts against Washington. Patriots are at home catching 2 points. I think the theory why Washington is favored in this game is because of the quarterback situation with Washington, and you have a quarterback battle going on for Washington that's not exactly clear. I mean, Taylor Heineke played well last year, started a playoff game for Washington. They brought him back. Ryan Fitzpatrick, they brought him in. How much of Fitzpatrick are we going to see? Probably a quarter, and then it's going to be Heineke. How much are we going to see out of him? Could he go a quarter? What do we see? And Steven Montez comes on, who hasn't been horrible. So they've got a couple of quarterbacks, and the receiving core is good. It comes down to the defense. I think that's why Washington's favored here against the defense. But again, I think the Patriots really want to win this game. I think they want to win the game outright. I don't hate an outright, money line play on New England, but I'm just going to say Patriots at home. They want to get off on the right track. I think the Patriots want to win a game, get rid of last year. And I think they're going to have some, I think they'll use Mac Jones. I think they'll actually see what Mac's got. Let's put a uniform on for the first time. Let's see what you got, kid. Cam's not going to play, I think, all that much because right now he's QB1. So for QB2, let's see what you got. Maybe give him a whole second quarter. And all reports are that Cam's being pushed big time by Mac Jones. I'll buy the hype. Patriots -2. I'll take the points. Patriots -2. I'm leaning towards the over, but the best number is gone, and I don't know, something about the preseason, betting overs in the preseason really does, it scares me for week number 1. Maybe week 2 and 3, we'll get into it, but it scares me. It's a lean on the under, might be a personal play for the over, rather, lean on the over, maybe a personal play on the over, but 3 plays in football that we're jumping on here. Steelers plus 1.5, under 35 in the Steelers and the Eagles, and Patriots +2 are our 3 plays for preseason football coming up here tonight. All 3 half a unit, by the way, so half a unit there. Okay, let's talk baseball. We are going back to the well. We're going back to where we have been, and we are betting Cardinals, Pirates, under. It's 9.5. We got Wade LeBlanc and JT Brubaker, okay? This Pirates team is anemic, and that's putting it nicely. They've scored 1 run in 2 games. They just allowed a 39-year-old pitcher to throw a complete game with 88 pitches. That's how bad this Pittsburgh Pirates offense is right now. It is awful. Unless JT Brubaker, who, by the way, got absolutely annihilated in his last start, okay? Joke how bad he was in his last start. 7 hits, 9 runs, 8 of them earned, 2 home runs, 4 walks, 5 Ks, and a 10-0 victory for the Reds against the Pirates. Again, them not scoring. As long as Brubaker, they have a quicker leash with him here tonight, and they don't let him get annihilated by the Cardinals. But again, the Cardinals' offense is not that good, okay? We're coming back here with the Cardinals and the Pirates under 9.5, okay? Under 9.5. Now, also, here we're doing this. I like this 2-leg money line parlay with fading bad teams on the road, okay? The Giants are playing the Rockies. The Rockies, again, lost 5-1 last night. Again, they did nothing against the Astros as they consistently show that they cannot play on the road. They scored 0 and 1 run during that 2-game series. So just like the Pirates, they scored 1 run in 2 games. Now the Rockies are on the road against the Giants, who are now up 7-2, by the way, so they're going to win that game. So we're going to cash that 2-leg parlay, which makes this bet even better. We're jumping in here. This is what I got this at plus 184. Okay, plus 184. Giants money line, Cardinals money line. Okay, Cardinals against the Pirates. Half a unit on this. Replacing, we were going Giants Astros. Now I'm going Cardinals against the Pirates, okay? So that's the scarier bet. It's minus 120, so lower odds, obviously not this heavy favorite, but the Pirates have been so bad, and they can't score, and JT Brubaker is bad. I'm going to take the Cardinals to finish it off here and get another win to win 3 games in a row against the Pirates. Cardinals money line, Giants money line is a plus 184 2-leg parlay for a half a unit. We're 2-0 doing this so far the last 2 days. Let's get a little bit aggressive here and push it a little bit because of how bad the Rockies are on the road. They are just absolutely and completely awful on the road, and they are now 13-42. Diamondbacks are going to fall to 14-45, so technically the D-backs are worse on the road than the Rockies, but not by much. They're both combined have 27 wins on the road combined. Unbelievable how bad these teams are. So that's what we're going to do here. So 2 plays on that Cardinals and Pirates game. The under 9.5 and money line for the Cardinals parlayed with the Giants at the end of the day to win and beat the Rockies. They've been playing really well at home, and they got really bad teams. The Giants are going to improve to 37-17, 20 games over 500 after this win tonight for them to get to 73-41, by the way, for the Giants. Just Crawford and company, timely hitting. It's been a lot of fun to watch these guys and what they've been able to accomplish. So really, really cool stuff. All right, so those are the 5 plays. I'll recap them here in just 1 second again. But today, we will do the Discord bet. Okay, we got 2 football games. We got a bunch of baseball games. I'm going to get to the Discord bet like I normally do. I'm going to try to get to it somewhere, I don't know, 3:30-ish. 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, somewhere in there. I'll let everyone know in the Discord channel. If you need to get in, it's bettingpros.com/chat on the Discord channel, or it's beneath me here on YouTube for a link to get into the Discord channel. So you've got that. We're now 7-11 because the Russian wrestler that you guys picked last week, which was a horrible bet, that did not cash. So now we're 7-11. We had gotten to 7-9, and now we lost 2 in a row. So we're going to come back here, hopefully with football starting. You guys are going to be able to jump in, prop betting and whatnot. Find a prop that you like, really. Find one of those for tonight and jump on one of those. Let's find a prop because I've gotten or maybe bet the over for Patriots in Washington or something like along those lines. But maybe Red Sox, want to jump on the Red Sox. Those are my 2 personal leans, over Patriots, over Red Sox. Maybe you guys jump on those. Just kind of help you out to get a winner out of this here as we start the fall to get in. So Discord bet will happen. I'm trying to find a way to fix that. Not fix it, but try to find a way to make it a little more exciting. Some of you guys love it. Other you guys are kind of like, I don't know. It feels a little stale to me. So I'll do it again here until we get really to football season. But I'm kind of figuring, I don't know if we'll keep going with it. I'm kind of figuring out because we're going to do something on Saturday mornings for college football. So I feel like maybe we just do Saturday morning for a Discord chat, and that's where we pick a college football play or something along those lines that becomes sort of like a consensus. I know you guys like having people come on and explain their plays because it lets you – that's part of the process, by the way, And if you guys haven't, I did a whole thing on my radio show that if you go to my Twitter account at Sports Talk Matt, you can see it about tips I gave on how to bet on preseason football and some of the coaches' ATS records I ran through and just the way I handicap preseason. But it is similar to how I bet college and pro football too. Like talking out your plays and talking out plays with somebody else is a really good idea. Like get a buddy and like run things by him. And sometimes when you hear yourself talking out loud, sometimes you might be like, I don't know. It has to be someone you trust because you don't want to talk yourself out of plays. But I do find it good or beneficial to talk about what you're going to bet on and get someone's opinion on it. And if they say, yeah, that's a really bad idea, here's why I don't like that, you might go, nah, I love it. And you hold to your guns. Or maybe he or she says something that makes you go, huh, okay, I didn't think about that. So that's why I think you guys like the Discord bet, because you hear other people explain their plays, and then you're like, I like that, or nah, I don't like that at all. So I get it. I totally understand why you guys like it. We'll keep going for a couple of more weeks, and then maybe we'll make a decision as to what to do with it. But 7-11 is not great. We're pretty heavily underwater right now. It's been a losing proposition so far. So we don't want to enter the fall losing, but maybe we can turn things around and get on a streak here during August before we get to the fall. So the plays again for you guys: Steelers plus 1.5, under 35 Eagles Steelers, Patriots plus 2. Under 9.5, Pirates and the Cardinals, and a 2-leg moneyline parlay, Cardinals and the Giants at plus 184, which is sensational odds given how poorly the Pirates and the Rockies are. Coming back with that for a half a unit. All those plays, half a unit coming up here for a Thursday. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast, presented by BettingPros.com. Always being brought to you by BetMGM.